Hi everybody, this is Anna of London, and I am here at Sissinghurst Castle. It doesn't look very much like a castle, does it? It looks much more like a cottage. This is the home of Vita Sackville-West, a member of the Sackville family who might have inherited the great Knoll house had she been male. Sadly, she wasn't allowed to inherit, and so she found a beautiful home not terribly far from where she was brought up at Knoll, and she created a home for herself here. Originally it was rather a ruin, and she renovated it, made it look beautiful, and now it is a testament to her life and also to her wonderful talent of gardening. And so that's what we're here for. We're here to see the gardens at Sissinghurst. So this long building, which is the first building you see when you come to Sissinghurst, is actually the gatehouse into what would have been a much more impressive and much larger Tudor mansion. And this was built at the end of the 1400s, lived in by a local family, the Baker family, and it was designed in order to welcome monarchy, and in fact Queen Mary did come and stay here. Now, on the right-hand side, you can see this wonderful tower. This is the original part of that mansion, and it's the only part that still exists. And this is the area that Vita Sackville-West chose when she came here in order to be her study and the place where she would work. At the bottom of the stairs, inside the gatehouse, there is this memorial to Vita, who actually created these gardens. Sadly, no mention of her husband, who was just as responsible for creating them, really. But the tower is all about Vita. She would have renovated it when she saw this place, when she discovered this ruin. She loved it, and she spent a lot of time renovating. I love this detail of a little medieval man in the windows there. So as we climb the stairs, there were 67 stairs right up to the top. The first floor is the area where she had her study. And let's take a peek inside, because this is the most interesting of all the rooms here. This was where she would write in the evenings. She was a poet, authoress, and as you can see, her study is literally crammed full of books. There are over 2,500 books just in these two small rooms alone. Her desk to the left has two photographs on it. One, which we can't see, is of her husband, Harold, and on the far side, her lover, Virginia Woolf. Climbing to the top of the tower, we have the most beautiful views over the estate and that gatehouse. But as we turn, we can also see parts of the gardens. So looking down on the far side, we see the way the gardens are divided up into rooms, and the geometric pattern, the layout, was very much the responsibility of Harold, whereas Vita was the one who was very much involved in the planting. And this is the house where they actually lived. Known as Spring Cottage, it was part of the original Tudor mansion. But this is only where Vita and Harold lived. Their children didn't live here. They lived in a separate cottage a little way on the other side of the estate. But we can actually go inside and we can see how comfortable their rooms were. You can see it's practically exactly the same as when they were living here. Again, 3,000 books, so plenty to keep Vita occupied. But let's go out into the garden. This is the cottage garden with 4 rather large Irish yew trees laid out by Harold, and this one all in red and yellows and golds. And then we move on to the herb garden. This one's supposed to inspire you because of the beautiful fragrances that would be appreciated by anybody who walked through. And I love that detail in the back there. Can you see this wonderful bench at the very far side? This bench was actually created out of some of the wood that was remaining from that Elizabethan home. A lovely place for contemplation. But there is a moat all the way around, or there was originally a moat all the way around the Tudor mansion, and this is what remains of it. It's possible to take a boat out. In fact, this picture is actually taken from the boathouse. And as we turn, we're now going to be looking into what was called the White Garden. So lots of different gardens here. This one was completely planted out in white, one of the last of the gardens to be done by Vita and her husband Harold during their renovation of this beautiful old ruin. And just behind is the priest's house, and this is where their children lived. Very, very different way of living to the way we live today. And just in front of it there is a Mediterranean garden, which is the garden which reminds them of a trip they took to Delos in Greece. Okay, so plenty to see here at Sissinghurst. I could tell you a lot more about the life of Vita and her husband. I can show you a lot more about the gardens, but I hope this gives you some kind of introduction, and I do hope that you will be visiting Sissinghurst soon. And here she is, Vita Sackville-West, a very unusual character and certainly somebody worth writing about. Thank you for your attention. My name's Anna of London. Do come and visit me again sometime soon. And if you want to, why not subscribe to my YouTube channel?